guys, how's it going? Amanda Golden-Petrie here from Market Like a Nerd, and today I want to talk to you about retargeting ads. So if you've been following us in the Facebook group this week, all this week we are showing you behind the scenes of how we come up with ad angles for every stage of the buying cycle. You know, when you're running Facebook ads, you're not always just running opt-in ads. You're running ads at different points in your funnel to catch your prospects based on where they're at in that buying journey. And so retargeting ads is a really important part of that process to make sure that anyone who has started in your funnel actually ends up finishing, going all the way until the end, and then buying or scheduling a call. So retargeting ads are really, really important to get those prospects who are right on the edge, get them over that edge so that they actually take that desired action from your funnel. Earlier on this week, I talked to you guys about our 3-tiered strategy and our straight A process and how our Facebook ads are designed in a way where first they capture attention from the prospect in the newsfeed, and then we activate those leads and those prospects by creating ad angles that address the state of mind that those prospects are in. Now, we've already talked about the first tier. We've already talked about the second tier of Facebook ads. If you missed that, the replays are in the group and they will be in here all this week. Today, or this live stream right now, is about the last tier, tier 3, which is agitation. And this is where you agitate the problem, you agitate the climate that the prospect is in, you agitate the craving that they have, the desire that they have, and you assure them around the objections that they have so that they end up going and taking that desired action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to walk you guys through how we come up with those retargeting ads. So let me get my screen up here. Make sure you guys can see and hear me. I know you can hear me. Okay, and you can see my screen. Perfect. So what we're going to talk about right now is how to use retargeting ads to get transformation-seeking clients over the edge and finally ready to pull the trigger and buy from you. And this is in particular going to focus on the last tier in our straight A process, so the agitation stage. So at this stage, you are targeting prospects who have already seen some initial ads. They've maybe already opted into your funnel, but they haven't taken that last step to schedule or buy. And so the process that we use here for addressing these prospects is we want to assure them around any and all of the objections that they might have. If someone doesn't schedule or someone doesn't buy, then they either need to be assured around the problem, the possibility, the path, the person, or the product. So either they have objections around the problem that you solve. Like maybe they feel like it's not the right problem that they should be focused on right now, or it's not important enough. For some reason, they still have an objection around that, and they think that that problem can wait to be solved. Or they have an objection around the possibilities and the desired outcome. Like maybe they just don't believe that it's possible for your product to do what it says it does, or maybe they just feel like it's not possible for them specifically. Or they have an objection around the path that you're prescribing, the method that you are using, the strategy that you are recommending. So perhaps they agree that they have a problem generating leads, but they don't believe that they should be using Facebook ads, for example. Or maybe you're a publicist and yes, they want to get more visibility, but they don't believe that publicity is the answer. So you need to address that objection. Some people, it will be about you. Their objection will be about you, and you need to assure them about you. There's something about you that they don't quite like yet. They don't feel like they know you well enough. They don't feel like they can trust you enough. They don't feel like you guys will mesh. So in some cases, yes, you are the objection. And then in other cases, it might be the product. You know, all of these other things they agree on, but when it comes to the product, maybe they object to the format. Maybe they didn't want one-on-one. They wanted a group format. Maybe they didn't want something virtual, they wanted something live. And then with all of these, it could be timing. It could be that they just don't have an urgency to solve this problem, to create those possibilities, to go down this path, to work with you in this particular product. So urgency is underlying all of these things. So the job of your retargeting ads is to assure your prospects in each of these 5 areas, to answer their objections in each of these 5 areas and drive urgency the whole way through. So you really should have at least 5 retargeting ads running with your funnels if you want to make sure that you're addressing all of the possible objections that your prospects could have that will then end up getting them over the edge. Now, for a lot of people, knowing that they have to run that many different retargeting ads, they struggle to feel like they can do that because they don't know what to say. You know, most people's retargeting ads are very generic. It's like, hey, I noticed you went to go schedule a call, but you didn't. So here, go schedule. Or, hey, I noticed you checked out our sales page, but you didn't buy. Here's the link back to it. That's what most people say in their retargeting ads, and it's just plain boring. It's super unoriginal. It doesn't really spark interest, and it doesn't assure them at all. You're not addressing any of their objections, any of their concerns, and you're not really driving urgency in that way either. So let me give you some ideas for things to say. So the first thing that you can do is you can focus. So one of the angles that you can run in terms of what to say is you can really drive in that problem, remind them of the problem, restate the problem that they have, and re-persuade them. You already persuaded them that they have this problem in the opt-in ads, but they might have forgotten, or they might just have, you know, it's like when you go to a live event and you're at a live event, you're super pumped up and you feel really in the moment, willing to do all of these like millions of different things that are going to change your business and your life forever. And then as soon as the live event ends, all of a sudden, you know, that energy dwindles and you're not as willing to execute. And there's almost like this lull in inspiration that happens. It can happen the same way in funnels. You'll run these opt-in ads and you'll convince people, hey, you have this problem, you need to solve it right now. And they're like, oh my God, yes, you're right, I absolutely do. And then they'll go through the funnel and time will pass and all of a sudden they're not in that state of mind anymore. So you need to get them back into that state of mind. So in this first type of retargeting ad, you're going to put pressure on their wound. And this is going to be a very emotional, you're going to be tapping into the emotion in this ad angle. Now that doesn't mean that this ad needs to be like really heartfelt and super the ad itself doesn't have to be super emotional, but you do need to be tapping into their emotion and their problem and the existing climate that they have within their current business or life. So here's an ad angle that we ran that gets at this. This is a retargeting ad. So it starts off saying, most people's impact is greater than what they think, but they don't know how to get there. That's exactly why you checked out the Operation Cashflow Mastermind, right? But wait, I didn't see your appointment to chat with us. So go ahead and book a call now and we can chat more about that. And then there's the link. What's wrong with having a proven system, expert coaches, cutting edge training, and tons more at your fingertips? There's only a few spots available, and then it has the link. Okay, that's very generic, but now we're going to start getting into the emotion. I'm pushing you a little on this because I know the conflict of needing to grow, but being afraid to make it happen because what if you fail? But that's what my mastermind is for, to ensure that you succeed. When you've got a team of veteran 6- and 7-figure business builders on your side, you don't have to guess whether next month will be fantastic or flop-tastic. Fair enough? Go ahead and book a time to chat here. And there's the link. And then in that video, she's giving a very heartfelt, emotional appeal to that fear that they're feeling, that conflict that they're feeling. They're afraid of failing. And they they know that they need to grow, but they're afraid to take that action because what if it fails? So it's pushing at that emotion here in this copy, but also in that video. And you can see there's also driving the urgency and saying that there's a few spots left. So this is a bit more of a softer retargeting pitch, but this is going to get at those people who they have gone through your funnel and they've kind of forgotten the pain, they've kind of forgotten the problem and why it's so important, and so you're just trying to remind them of that. Now, for other people, that's not where their objections are going to lie. For other people, it might be a matter of believability. It might be a matter of they just aren't fully sure that this is really possible for them to make a reality and solve this problem and create the solutions that they want. And so for them, I find that stories or examples of clients who have paid you and gotten results works really well. Because if someone doesn't believe it's possible, one of the best ways to convince them that it is possible is to give them examples, to show them, hey, other people have done this, so obviously you can too. So you can use one specific client and have an entire ad angle that's that specific client story, and you can even have like a picture of that client story, or it can be like a grouping of a bunch of different clients, and here's generally the results that they have gotten. So this is one of those. This is from a fitness coach. The ad says, moms, get 50% off of all of my fit programs for moms today. Limited time offer. Never invest in another fitness or loss program again. Get immediate access to all 5 of these programs, and then it lists the programs. The stories from moms on this page are unbelievable. Check it out. And then it has a link where you can go and you can see all of these stories. Stories like, lost more than I ever thought possible, thankful for the encouragement of this group, recovery has been a breeze, I'm eating much better, less cravings, I'd love to see your story featured next. And then it has the link again. And so you can see in the beginning, it drives urgency. It starts off a little bit more logical, but then it goes into, look, these stories are unbelievable here. You can go see them. Here's the stories right here. And then it kind of recaps what these stories were and then gives them the link again. So people who feel like maybe it's not possible, they don't believe in, that this can actually work for them, stories and client examples, testimonials, case studies, that type of thing, though that's usually what is going to work with them. Other people, they are objecting to the path, to the method that you are prescribing. And so for these types of people, typically what will happen is if you've sent them through a funnel, and your funnel didn't do a very good job of explaining your process, they might need to have it re-explained to them. Like, let's say you're just using a PDF funnel and you just have a PDF that's explaining the process. Maybe it didn't go into enough detail so they don't fully understand your method. Or maybe it was a webinar and it was really long, so they just didn't fully understand your strategy. So they might need it kind of dwindled down for them to really understand. That's the thing. Like, if you explain a process, a method, a strategy to someone, and you convince and persuade them that that's the right strategy for them, it's going to be a natural next step for them to hire you. Like, most people, they're not going to have one person explain a strategy to them and then go to someone else to execute it. That doesn't make sense. You know, if you're the roofing contractor who told me that my roof has a leak and you found it and you're telling me you can fix it, why would I go to a different roofing contractor and get them to fix it? Like, it makes sense naturally for me to go to the person who introduced me to the problem and the solution to be the person to solve it. But if the roofing contractor didn't do a good enough job convincing me that, hey, you have a leak and this is how we should fix it, and I don't understand it, then he's going to have to re-explain it to me in a way that I will understand. So for people who are objecting to your process, to your method, to your strategy, you need to restate that strategy and remind them or recap it in a way that they can hopefully understand. So here's an example of an ad where we did just that. It was a webinar funnel. and the webinar was quite long. So we went ahead and we just kind of recapped the strategy and then segued that back into the offer. So this ad says, you did it. You watched our free training about making more in your coaching business while working part-time and traveling the world. And now you know the secret is to, and then here's the recap. Always sell high-ticket group coaching programs with the best being masterminds. 2, use the fill formula to get your prospects to say yes to your mastermind offer, even if you're charging $30K or more. 3, use our instant access webinar funnel model to generate leads for your mastermind on autopilot. If you left the webinar early, you may have missed us announce our limited time only offer to access our sold out masterminds program. Check out the offer details here. And then it goes into, now it's like a logical explanation of what's included in the mastermind. So I started off by recapping the process and reminding them of the path that we prescribed and that we recommended. And then I segued it back into that offer, driving urgency around that offer. So you can see here, if you are creating an ad angle that puts pressure on their wound and their problem, you're going to start addressing those who have objections around the problem in your retargeting ads. If you share client stories and client results that you're getting, you're going to start convincing people that, hey, this is possible, and you're going to address those objections. If you recap your process and reinforce why you recommend the things that you do and can re-persuade them, hey, this strategy that I'm using is the way that you should go, well, you're going to start addressing the objections that people have around the path that you prescribed. Now, still there will be other people who they believe in all of that, but they just don't believe in you. Yeah, there's going to be people who you just rub the wrong way, that they just don't like the way you talk or the way that you dress or the things that you stand for, or maybe they just feel like they don't know you well enough. And so this is when your retargeting ads need to start creating a personal connection and bridging that gap there. So with that, I find that retargeting ads that are very personal in terms of giving a personal story or proof of your own result and driving your authority work really well. So you can have retargeting ads that tell a personal story. It's very emotional, and that creates that emotional connection that will resonate with that prospect and that ideal client in a way that's going to finally get them over the edge, because they're going to finally feel like they can know, like, and trust you. So you can see this ad here. It has a personal picture of the client, and then this whole thing, you can see it's a lot of I language. She's doing it in first person because it's her story. Now, she's making sure to share a story that the ideal client is going to really resonate with. And then at the end, she's segueing it into her offer. So if you have prospects that you want to reach in your retargeting ads who might not feel like they can really connect with you yet, they might not feel like they know you well enough, you're going to want to have some of those retargeting ads that tell personal stories that your prospects are going to connect with, that kind of get them over the edge. Now, usually the stories are more emotional, and it's more so getting at a feeling, how you felt in that moment when you were struggling, how you felt when you learned the lesson that helped you overcome. But for other people, they're not emotional buyers, they're logical buyers, and they might feel like they can know and like you, but they might not feel like they trust you yet because they don't see your authority and they don't see your expertise. And so for those people with those objections, you want to make sure that you're running ad angles that really prove that you know your shit, right? So for those types of people, you want to run retargeting ads that address your own personal results. Like if you're a health and fitness coach, talk about your own personal results that you've gotten doing what you say that you do. If you're a business coach, talk about your own personal business results. If you're a parenting coach, talk about your own personal results with your kids, right? Whatever it is that you do, share your own results. Like I said, the story is more about feelings, so you're not going to get into results as much, but with proof, when you're addressing a logical thinker or a logical buyer, you want to make sure you have very explicit results that you are addressing. So with this one, with this client, she has it here in her ad that she ended up having a 4-hour labor with just 15 minutes of pushing, and then 2 hours and 2 pushes in her second pregnancy. That her doctors and her labor nurses were super impressed and credited her workout regimen for that. So then it segues into talking about how she's helped over 200,000 women. That, again, is driving that authority. She's had 20 years as a fitness and health expert, again, driving authority. So all of these very explicit examples of her expertise and her authority are ways to reassure a logical buyer who doesn't feel like they can trust your knowledge and your expertise just yet, which is the job of the retargeting ads, to address all of the possible objections that your prospects could have in the funnel. Now, the last thing that could come up is a prospect objecting to the specific product. And for these types of people, typically what is going to work well is showing proof that your product works. Like, how can you can't argue with proof. Like, if I, like, logically, if I can prove that this has worked for other people, well then, yeah, obviously it makes sense it's going to work. So this is one of the ways that you can address that objection. They don't believe in your product. Okay, well, here's proof that it works. So this is an example of, actually, this is one of my husband's ads. I ran an ad for my husband for his local tennis clinics, and we got this little kiddo here, that's my son. We got him to do essentially like a little video testimonial for my husband, and we ran that as an ad. And so my son giving a testimonial for my husband is a way of showing client proof in that ad and addressing those logical buyers who are concerned about the product. Similarly, here's another ad that we ran again for my husband, and in it you can see now this isn't a video, this is a picture. So it is a picture of one of his clients, and in the ad it says, Jason has coached all levels from beginners to professionals, including mentoring the #1 female player in Costa Rica, pictured below. So he's using one of his clients and their success as an example in this retargeting ad as a way to make the prospect feel assured that they can trust this product because other people have seen success with it. Now, another way that you can do this is you can just address so some people, they want to see proof. Other people, they want to see comparison, meaning they want to know why they should choose this product over any other product. So for this, you want to run for those types of people, you want to run ad angles where you talk about the unique selling propositions of this specific product and how it's different than everyone else. So this is an ad that we ran for one of our clients who sells a physical product. And this ad is very focused on the unique selling proposition. There's no minimum orders, there's no upfront expenses, no storing skids of bulky bottles, no low quality ingredients, and then it has multiple options that you can choose from. Now you can also see there is, in all of these, there's urgency being driven within the ad. So it's addressing the angle of the unique selling proposition while also incorporating a drive for urgency. Here's another example. This was for our mastermind, and in the copy we're talking about how this mastermind is so different from most because we won't leave you crossing your fingers to hope it works. The heart of the mastermind is done for you. We're actually executing it on your behalf. It's an integrated approach to actually help you get shit done. Coaching and consulting is easy, but we do the hard part, the work. And so this is really emphasizing that unique selling proposition that we actually do the work for you, as opposed to most coaches who are just telling you what to do and you have to execute it yourself. Now, there will still be some other prospects who object to the product and they don't listen to proof. They don't care about the comparison. It's the format that feels off for them. Like maybe they wanted something live and it was virtual. Maybe they wanted something group and it was one-on-one, or vice versa. So for this, you need to really praise the format of your product and explain why you chose the format that you did. So this is an example of an ad that explains why we did it as a done-for-you offer instead of just doing coaching, and it positions coaching as being really easy and doing done-for-you as being hard but necessary because it's so important for results. This is another ad that we ran for one of our clients that explains, it bullet points, here's everything that's included and why it is included. So this is her explaining the format of her offer and then emphasizing why that format was chosen, how intentionally it was packaged up to be able to get them the results that they want. So you need to logically explain to these types of prospects with these types of objections and persuade them that the way you packaged up your offer is the best thing for them. Now, finally, there's going to be some people who will hear all of this and just, they are tire kickers. And so you need to get them over the edge. And the best way to do that is for FOMO, fear of missing out, just drive the urgency, really press the timing. And so you can do that a bunch of different ways. You can say like, just this weekend only, you can get it for this deal. You could say, hey, this is a flash sale and retarget them into like a flash sale type of ad angle. Or you can just say like, hey, this is the last chance to get it. But one way or another, you can run different ad angles that really push that urgency and are getting at the people who are just like really on the edge of their seats, but they just need that final push to get over the edge. So just to kind of recap, your retargeting ads, the job of those retargeting ads is to assure your prospects around their objections and drive urgency all throughout. So you want to run retargeting ads that answer objections around the problem that this product is solving, objections around, is it actually possible to solve this problem, and that lack of belief. You want to have retargeting ads that assure them around their objections to your specific method, process, strategy. You want to run retargeting ads that assure them around their objections around you and create that connection and establish that authority. And then finally, you want to run retargeting ads that assure them around their objections of your product. So the format of your product, the results that your products get, how it differs from other products out there, and then just the overall timing of, is this the right thing for them to get right now? So these are all of the different retargeting ad angles that I recommend that you run, and hopefully this will give you some ideas for some copy that you can creatively write for your own Facebook ads. Now, I know that this sounds like a lot, but I want you to remember that these are 5 steps that work hand in hand. Just like nutrition is nothing without working out, and rest and cardio and medication is nothing without therapy, and funnels are nothing without traffic, the assurance domino works when it's done together. So you need all 5 steps. Now, at this point, you've got 3 options, right? You can either decide just to skip this advice altogether, say, Amanda, this is too much work, that's too many ads to run, that's too much copy to write, and just don't run retargeting ads, or don't run them the right way, and spend your days helping the little bit of clients that you have, wishing you could help more, stressing about how to find the next lead and wondering, man, what would have happened if I just listened to Amanda? Not making the money that you want to make because you thought that Facebook ads were too risky or too expensive or too much work. So that's option 1. You can just skip it. Don't listen to what I said. Option number 2 is you can listen and you can do it and you can go execute it yourself. And you can go and run all of these retargeting ads because I've shown you the different angles that you can use for them. And you can spend your days writing. You can spend your days writing tons of those ads, wishing that you could be focusing more on your clients and your gifts, stressing when one of your ad angles doesn't work, wondering why it didn't work, and wasting money on ads that aren't working because you thought that DIYing it would actually save you money. Man, were you wrong. So that's option number 2. You can go and execute it yourself and see how it goes. Now, the third option, the option I recommend, is you can just hire someone to do this for you. Recognize, yes, I really do need retargeting ads, and they really should be done the right way, and they're really nuanced, and they're really time intensive, so let me just give it to someone else. And you hire an ads manager to do it for you. Let them write the ad copy, come up with these retargeting angles, do the images, set up the campaigns. Let them do all the numbers tracking, the split testing, because it's a lot of work, it's time intensive, and you should not be doing that yourself. And have them actually help you make money, because these ads do work when you work them right. Now, like I said, this is option number 3. Hire someone to do it, and that's obviously what I recommend, but who do you hire? If you're gonna hire an ads manager, who do you hire? Because there's so many out there. Well, just like I explained earlier, that if you explain to someone your path, your method, your strategy, it makes sense for them to hire you. Like if you are explaining to someone the process to overcome trauma, they're probably not going to go to their therapist to execute your strategy. They're going to go to you to execute your strategy. So I just explained this strategy. It naturally makes sense that we would be the people to help you, and we can actually help do all of this for you. That is our zone of genius in helping drive traffic using Facebook ads and PR. And we're actually so confident in what we do that we actually even offer a guarantee. So if you want to hear a little bit about how we manage Facebook ads for our clients, how we manage PR for our clients, and drive traffic to your offers, to your funnels, and manage your retargeting ads as well in that process, and what our guarantee is, you can go ahead and click the link in this post and it'll go through all of that. When you click the link in the post, it's actually going to take you to this page, and you can read through and read about, everything that's included in these services. It has some examples from some of our clients. It talks about our guarantee, and there's buttons all throughout. You can click on the buttons and it'll take you to our scheduling calendar, where you just pick a day and a time, and we'll get on the phone and we will talk to you about how we work. And I'll tell you what we do on the call in just a second. But first, I just want to clarify who this is for, because we are selective about who we work with. So we work with coaches or consultants, and that can be local or virtual, course creators, service providers, and that could be VA types. You could be a lawyer, you could be a real estate agent, and health and fitness professionals. Those are the audiences that we've done a lot of work with. We've done a lot of work with coaches, a lot of work with course creators, a lot of work with VAs, a lot of work with lawyers, a lot of work with real estate agents, and a lot of work with health and fitness professionals. So if you're in one of those niches and you actually have an offer ready, like you have a website or a funnel, something that we can send traffic to, because obviously what's the point in running ads if you don't have an offer, if you don't have something that you're sending traffic to, and you are a committed business warrior who is serious about your business growth, and you're willing to execute a bold and aggressive marketing plan, that is who we work with. We don't work with people who have a lack mindset, who have poor work ethic. Like, we're not looking for dreamers. We're looking for doers. Like, that's great that you're a visionary, but are you also an action taker? And we're looking for leaders. Because this is a collaborative process, we're going to really need you to step up. So if that sounds like you can click the link on the post, go to this page, click the button to schedule, and when we get on the call, we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about your current state of your business, really understanding you, your niche, your offers, packages, prices, taking a look at your funnels, what's working for you in your sales process, what's not, and just making sure that we have a base understanding of where you're at right now so that we can make, obviously, if we're going to be giving you our advice, we want to make sure that we understand as much as possible. So we're going to ask you some of those questions, and then we're going to dive into the vision and goals for your business. We have to understand where you're trying to go. So we're going to clarify the direction that you want your business to go in and what your current plan of action is. That way we can audit it. So we're going to actually audit your strategy and give you our honest feedback about your plan and what we recommend as next steps. Then from there, if we feel like we're a fit, if you like the plan that we've outlined, we can have a really candid discussion about our services, our packages, our prices, and just answer whatever questions you have about what it looks like working together. So just as a reminder, we are selective because our results are our reputation. We're not in this to make money. We are in this to help expand our impact and have, we want to be able to help people who help other people so we can have a butterfly effect on the world. So if you are, if you're not sure if you qualify, if you think that you qualify, if you want to find out if you qualify, just go ahead and click the link in this post. It'll take you over to this page here that explains our services, and just click on that button to schedule your call, and we will talk about all of it then. So there you go, guys. We look forward to talking to you and helping you get your ads up and running. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that you learned a lot. You now know how to use retargeting ads to get transformation-seeking clients over the edge, finally ready to pull the trigger and buy from you. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to be going live in the group again to talk about some of the other frameworks we use to come up with additional copy angles. As you can see, there's a lot of different angles that you can run in Facebook, and a lot of people, the problem is that they're not running enough angles, or they don't have the time to come up with enough ads, and so they're not testing enough, and that's why they're not getting results. Because we run so many ads, we've come up with a variety of different angles that we can use for our clients. That way we have enough to work with and enough to test. So, the goal here is either, you learn all of these different angles that you can run, and we give you so much inspiration for different creative ideas that you can go out and you can start testing more angles in your ads and getting better results with them. Or, if you already have someone who you're working with regard to ads, you can go to them and say, hey, watch this thing from Amanda and start running some angles like this. Or, maybe you see the process that we're using and you really like it, and you can come to us and we can start running these angles for you. So that's our goal in this series this week. But that is all for today. Like I said, thank you guys for being here, and I will check you guys tomorrow. Mwah. Bye, guys.